So let's go ahead and see what we got here. You have the Three of Wands in the heart of your reading. So already pretty much talking about something that you're manifesting, right? You're putting in work. You're waiting for something to get in. You're waiting something to return to you. There's something that you're expecting with the Three of Wands, right? Now, what are we expecting? I feel like the rest of the cards are going to tell us before I go ahead and pull a clarifier. We have the past here with the Five of Pentacles. So there was some struggling with either finances or struggling with the relationship. Some things weren't quite balanced. Some things weren't necessarily as, as wonderful as it could be, because the Five of Pentacles can talk about where we have lack in our life, right? It could be financially, it could be emotionally, it can be spiritually, it could be that there's something lacking with the relationship, communication, emotions, or emotional connection, attention, love. There's something here that's lacking, that was lacking in the past, right? But I feel like whatever this lacking was, and this could be also there's people around that may be, looking to fill a void or fill up or look to replenish something that they don't have enough of. And they look to you to do it, but you don't have anything to give either. But look at this with the Nine of Pentacles in your present, you are self-efficient, right? I feel like right now you're on your own. You're not dealing with anybody really. I mean, you got the Knight of Wands. Maybe there's an opportunity for more fun, but you're bored. You're bored because the situation, everything that you've done, has pretty much left you with nothing to do. Like, you've completed something. You completed it. The Nine of Pentacles, that's the end, pretty much. Well, the Ten of Pentacles is the end. You're not quite at the end, but as far as the individual journey that you've been through, that's done with, right? You've maxed out with this energy here with doing something by yourself, at least in this area, right? So now you're bored. You're comfortable, but you're also bored. You're also probably feeling really lonely, right? You want to have a little bit more fun. You want to, get a spark of life, which is why the Knight of Wands is coming up in your external energy. You may be dealing with a Sagittarius, Aries, or a Leo, but I really feel like here with the Nine of Pentacles, whatever this lack was, you're well endowed now. Like, you have no problem with taking care of certain things. You have more than enough, especially for yourself. If this is like you by yourself, you have definitely enough for yourself. So you don't have to worry about any of this here anymore. But the lack is no longer with finances, not feeling enough. It's just that there's nothing going on now, right? Because, like I said, everything's handled. Everything's good. You're in a comfortable space, but it doesn't mean that you're enjoying the space. Because if you look at the way she's looking at this squirrel, she's like, man, if only you and I could go to the mall or something. Do something fun. But it's almost like you're dealing with an empty house, right? You got a beautiful big house, beautiful big area, beautiful garden, but there's only you. You know what I mean? And that may have been what has been lacking before, right? Maybe there wasn't a lot of interaction, a lot of fun. But because you were always struggling with something else that you kind of, your focus had to do with a lot of your responsibilities. And now that your responsibility to take care of, just like, what is left to do? Really, to just enjoy yourself. But, it's hard, especially when, it calls for going outside of your comfort zone, taking risks, doing something new, doing something different. And then, two, what else is out there outside of yourself, right? Which I feel like you'll be able to, figure out with traveling. I know I'm looking at the Knight of Wands. It's so opposite. It's crazy that the Knight of Wands is coming up as opposite. Now, you could also be dealing with somebody that you feel is very passionate, can be very fun, and they're just staying to their own self, right? They're not coming outside their comfort zone. It could be that that's who you're dealing with too, right? Maybe you're the one that's external and having a good time and trying to have more fun and do things that's, just definitely not boring. But the person that you're dealing with, that you see as very attractive and very fun, is boring. Is either bored, constantly boring you, and you're just like, or they're just bored themselves. They don't know what to do, and they just want to stick within what's comfortable, what's familiar. They don't want to come outside of their comfort zone, because everything that they ever needed is right here. But that doesn't mean that they expand their knowledge by being in this energy. So that could be what you're dealing with right now. Like, you may want to have more fun and do more things. Maybe that's what you're waiting on. Maybe you're waiting on somebody to get back with you in regards to doing something. Maybe traveling the world, doing something fun. But you're sitting, waiting, and being patient, and you're not getting anything out of it. So with your future being the King of Cups, I kind of get this feeling that there is somebody that shows a lot more emotion, maybe. Someone that exists a bit more romantic, right? The King of Cups is perhaps the person that you're waiting for. You may be waiting for someone that's romantic, someone that's loving, that's very compassionate. And the King of Cups may not be the most expressive, but he feels the most deep, the most deepest. The most deepest is not the right, that's improper grammar, but they feel the most. All right, so I'm asking, give us more cards to help us understand the King of Cups. So this is definitely someone that you've already known. The Six of Cups is coming up, and then you have the Three of Wands. This is about making a decision about what to do, because the King of Cups is someone that maybe you have. The King of Cups is usually a lover, an ideal partner. And I kind of get this vibe that the King of Cups is someone that's from the past. This is a past relationship. Someone that you think of from, with really good memories. Someone that, fulfilled you emotionally. But then the Two of Wands is about how do you go ahead and execute or go after this person. Not in a bad way, of course. But like, what do you do with that? What do you do with that information? How do you go about manifesting their ideal male, your ideal woman, What is the steps you take, right? What direction you're going to go? Because you know what you want. The King of Cups is someone, when the King of Cups comes up, that means you know what you desire. It's all about now with the Two of Wands, how are you going to go about making that a reality? What are you going to do to, what are you going to do to manifest this? It's picking your path here. Interesting, family. Interesting. So your best path to follow here is Temperance. So Temperance is definitely one of those cards that talk about balancing all things, right? Moderation in all things, never indulging in one area. Staying too comfortable at home, but not going out of your way to just completely be outside all the time, right? You need time to replenish and give responsibility to whatever things that you're trying to maintain here. But I feel like with Temperance, it's like staying patient, mostly. Because the card for Temperance is Sagittarius as well, and you got two cards that Sagittarius lends their energy to, so it's interesting. But of course, again, it doesn't have to be a Sagittarius that you're dealing with. It could just literally mean here with the Temperance that you may have to just be a little more patient, right? Not saying that you're impatient at all. I think you're very patient, but you're just bored out of your mind. But I think the situation is like, okay, it's coming. It's just you may want to hold on a little bit more. It's asking for you to remain patient, to stay patient, to stay as is, right? Let's see, why is Temperance coming up for Taurus? Why is Temperance coming up for Taurus here? Because of the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the reason why the situation is asking you to hold, just keep holding on, remember that little cat, the hang in there, baby thing? That's pretty much, that's what it looks like to me, because this person is either moving very slow, there's a lot of things moving slowly, and it's taking time for it to manifest to the physical realm, right? There's something that's coming in, or someone that's coming in to offer you something that's real, that's tangible. But I don't think that it's going to happen overnight. I think this person's coming in as fast as they can with the Knight of Wands. This person's moving very fast, but it's still pentacles. It's something physical, something real. And I don't know if it's necessarily a ring or someone asking you to get married. It could be that, right? It could be that there's something here where there's something. I always keep saying something. I'm giving myself, I'm annoying myself because of how much I'm saying one word. But I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, somebody's coming to offer you something that that's valuable. That's very valuable. But it's still something that takes time to process, which is why patience is asked of you right now. Well, it's being continued to be asked of you right now because you're already very patient. Now, why do you have the Two of Swords as your hopes and fears, right? What are you worried about making the wrong decision about? What decision do you feel like you have to make? Okay? The Two of Swords, excuse me. The Two of Swords talks about making a difficult decision or feeling like crossed between two truths, between two directions, and you have to make one decision. But it's hard to make that decision, so it's just easier to kind of keep the balance. But it's also very, very difficult to keep the balance as well. Because, of course, that means that you have to, because they get heavy. Holding them crossed like that, you can't hold something like that forever. This is something that can't be resisted. So some sort of decision has to come of it. So the Three of Swords. An old issue, old pains. I think there's been some, because Two of Swords can sometimes indicate ignoring something. Something that's very important but difficult to handle. And it's just easier to push it off, to not act like it's there, to act like it's not there, to kind of just be like, you know what, it's okay, I'll get back to it, when you're not planning to, right? Or you're just trying to push it off as far as you can, as far as you can before you actually do make the decision, right? So the Three of Swords coming up with that, there's definitely some triggers with this. Why is the Three of Swords coming up? What triggers is coming up for Taurus regarding this decision? Or the Two of Swords. The Sun. Clarity of a situation, what makes you happy. The potential for great happiness. Just triggers are surrounding what you can see. What happiness can come about this path that you see with the Sun. The Magician. Okay. So I feel like this is the Two of Swords. Perhaps the situation is coming up for two, of course, right? Hopes and fears. But the hope, I feel like, is that you want to make the decision, or you want to be able to put down the Two Swords, the thing that's keeping you balancing something, right? Or you want to just put the swords down. Make the decision to go after what makes you happy. And continue to put the work necessary into it. The Magician is very confident. This is someone that manifests, that manifests whatever they want. This is a manipulator of matter. So he has the tools to do whatever he needs to make something work, to make something happen. And I feel like the Two of Swords is indicating that there is fear around the potential happiness that could come from someone's effort. The Magician, he still has to do something. It's not just the tools that do the work, it's him. Because without him, those tools would just be sitting, lying around doing nothing, right? It takes a person to fix, something with a screwdriver, right? The screwdriver doesn't fix the thing. It's the person that uses the screwdriver that fixes whatever the hell the thing that's broken. But I don't think anything's broken. I think there may be maybe doubt or like something difficult about making a decision towards success for the self, or whatever, or going towards what makes this person feel fulfilled. But I kind of get this vibe. I get the vibe that the situation has got you. Like, you are covered. Like, you have someone around you, or have people around you that definitely support you, that love you, that would encourage you to move forward with this. Maybe there's only self-doubt in regards to what you can do. Maybe you feel like you can't do this, or maybe you can't do that. Maybe there's certain things that you may have to kind of straighten out in order for something else to happen. You have to clear the blockage, which is the Three of Swords, in order to have happiness, or in order to be able to go down this path, right? There's difficulties that lie ahead. And I think it was, like you said, it was, like I said before, whatever the resistance was for the situation, of course, with the Three of Swords, it was big. The Sun is saying that you can have this, but you have to confront this pain first. You have to look at the Three of Swords and you have to acknowledge that it's there. You have to heal that pain. You have to heal what's not right, what hasn't been, properly healed in a long time. Because this is not new. These aren't new issues. These are old. The Nine of Swords are swords that are in your heart because there's something here that's been bugging you for a long time. And it's making peace with that and truly accepting your power, taking your power. But it's hard to deal with this because it hurts. But you have people here that love you, that support you, that want the best for you. And of course, right? I'm not saying to do this for anyone else because you are the only person that's got to live with yourself. But I feel like don't let the people around you either make you feel like you can't do it, or most importantly, people around you are willing to help you. There's people in your inner circle that are willing to support you in this journey. You don't have to necessarily go through this alone, but I feel like you definitely have people around you that support you and love you. Yes, the healing, that part is definitely something you have to do solo. But I feel like there's people waiting for you to go on, to make it through the other side, to celebrate together. Because the Three of Cups is not just people within your inner circle. This is also celebration, and I feel like that's celebrating going through a difficult time, or celebrating conquering and healing an area of pain that's been plaguing you for a while. Focus and then act. All right. Nice. Focus then oh my gosh, if I can get it out, that'd be perfect. Focus and then act. Now the King of Cups here too doesn't have to be somebody outside of you. This could be literally an old love of your own. Personal, right? Maybe there's something to do with career, something that you wanted to do. You have an opportunity to do it now, and you can go about making it happen. The King of Cups doesn't have to be a physical or a romantic individual. It could be something that makes you feel happy. For instance, like if you wanted to ever be a doctor or have something to do with healing someone, this may be about you considering this because you have nothing to do. There's nothing you need to do. You're okay. You can actually take what you have here and put it in an area where you may have wanted to go down, but haven't had the chance to. Because maybe there were children involved. Right? The Six of Cups is children. So you may have had children and you had to kind of figure out what you needed to do then. But now you have the opportunity to make this dream a reality. And the fork in the road is definitely saying that. Fork in the road is saying that you have a choice. You have a decision to make in regards to what your future will look like, what you will do with yourself, right? Reinventing yourself with this new journey. It may have to do with learning something new, but that's okay because this is something that you're passionate about anyway. So I don't know, Taurus. You got a lot of considering to do. You got a lot of thinking to do. A lot of new ideas to sift through and to look at, and to even maybe go down that road and see what can bring out of it. The only thing I have to say is that the weirdest card here is the Three of Wands, because everything looks like you're in a place of trying to shake things up. Wow, the Three of Wands. It told us, okay, it's giving us the same answers. Okay, so the Three of Wands, when it comes to twice like that, it means that the first initial thing I had was correct. You put in a lot of work. You're expecting something to come in. You're expecting some sort of information to come in. Maybe you're waiting for someone to approve you for something.